Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Cascadero Chairman Bill McWilliam. Welcome back to the show, Bill.
Thank you very much, Jim. Looking forward to this one.
We've got 3 projects to talk about. First of all, Tehran. What's happening there?
Okay, well, this is just an update on Tehran because we finished all the drilling that we had planned. We're going to start again on the drill program sometime in early 2018. What we're going to do in the interim, because our chief geologist is away and won't be back until February the 10th, I think, we asked the UBC metallurgical guys to give us another proposal to further reduce the cost of the reagents used in the leaching process. They've done that, and the board has agreed with it. There are 3 drivers that are identified, and they will provide the desired results. And that's about all I can say. We'll keep everybody in news releases updating the results, but this is a very, very positive step forward. And we just have to make the deposit a little bit bigger, and it's going to be, I believe it's going to be a world-class deposit, and we'll find a buyer with no problem.
Can you tell us where Tehran is?
Yeah, it's in northwestern Argentina, down by the boron deposits of Rio Tinto. And it's 220 kilometers basically due west of Salta, the main city in that part of the world, and 50 kilometers south of the railway and the power line and the gas line. So it's very well located property. You can drive right to it. There's no development issues. We've already done our community study. We've got the permit to carry on with the drilling, and we're planning another 44 drill holes.
Bill, you have an update for Serita Este. Can you tell us where that is and what's happening there?
Serita Este is a property that's in the Taca Taca mineral district. It adjoins Taca Taca, the main deposit that is owned by First Quantum, and is on a development path right now because they've been meeting with the government of Salta and explaining the issues and explaining what they got to do. They've got all their environmental stuff done. They've got a baseline survey, and I think in 6 months or so they're going to start preparations to build this mine. It's a big mine. It's going to be 180,000 tons per day, and it's going to produce a lot of copper and a lot of moly, and the gold values are a little bit low. Serita Este is 6 kilometers from the center of that pit, and it is a high sulfidation system, which means that it's a surface high sulfidation system, and it may be a manifestation of a deeper-seated mineralized intrusion, like a porphyry below it. That's a very common model in geology around the world. These porphyry systems and porphyry districts usually have one or more porphyry systems, and they tend to be in clusters, and it looks like that's what we've got here. The difference with this and other properties is that the gold values are very high on the surface deposit, and that bodes well for a mineralized intrusion below. That increases the target size from hundreds of thousands of tons to hundreds of millions of tons. So this is a very important development. I do not have all of the data. We're just finishing the compilation at this particular time. I'll have a PowerPoint and a formal report from our QP geologist within this week, and I'll be able to release more information, and I can't release any assay information at this time. What I'd like to emphasize, and something I've said many times, is that this property has all of the issues of uncertainty with it, like any other mining property. And if this zone fails, the stock is not going to go to zero, and it doesn't really affect the value of our position in the Taca Taca district. However, if the uncertainty turns out to be positive, then we're going to see a stock that's got lots of legs, and it's going to go much higher in value. The zone right now is 1,100 meters north-south, and it's 600 meters east-west, and it's still open to the west. So this is a big gold system on surface. We're very excited about this. We have the permit issued to do the trenching, and we will get the permit to drill the property in the early part of 2018. This is our number one priority at this particular time, and it will add more value to the company than any one of our other properties at this time. So I'm very excited. I've been in this business a long time, seen a lot of properties. This is one of the most exciting prospects I've ever had the pleasure of dealing with. So stay tuned. I think we're going to have some success here.
And Bill, you have a third property to tell us about.
Yeah, the third property is actually two properties. And we only own 33% of each one, but we're doing all of the work for the other two parties who are financing it. And hopefully we're going to be able to increase our interest to 50%, but I don't think it'll be any higher than that. But 50% of this property is going to be enough to make a difference to, it's enough to make a difference to our market capitalization again. This is probably the most densely mineralized area in the Taca Taca district and in northwestern Argentina. The property's been known since 1990, and it was owned by Barrick. They got it when they acquired Argentina Gold, and they were looking at Veladero and Pascualama, the two properties that Argentina Gold had. Those are what they wanted. They were big-scale epithermal systems. They never took the time to review what this property is. We now think it's an orogenic gold deposit, which means that's a new name for mesothermal, which means that this system, the vein system, and the mineralization can go to depth. Depth meaning a couple hundred meters. A couple of thousand meters, and it starts as a surface open pit and will morph into an underground mine if we're successful drilling it off. So we have continued to look at the Desierto 1 and 2 area because of the density of the mineralization. And with all good areas, when you start looking at them more thoroughly and more critically, they usually get better. Well, that's what's happening here. Our prospectors, Ron Bilquist, has just found a brand new area that has never been seen before. It's a barium and gold zone, and it's very close to the Grand Vein, which is a very high-grade silver vein. This property now has a nickname. It's called Stegosaurus, which means big, fat, and good. So that's where we're at. We're just moving these properties forward right now. Everything is going beautifully. Everything is working in our way. We haven't made a mistake, and we're going to get aggressive with all of these properties. So good news ahead for Cascadero.
Bill, for new listeners, can you give us a bit of an overview of Cascadero?
Yeah, Cascadero, as a matter of fact, Jim, on January 15th this year, our company's 14 years old. So I've been involved with this for 41% of my adult life, basically, and I know the area intimately. I know the properties intimately, and I believe that we've got a core property position that is as good as any junior company in the world. We have to raise some more money because we'd prefer to take equity dilution now rather than property dilution, but we'll look at anything that gives us the money to continue. I did a little analysis a couple of weeks ago, and we have the properties that require about 15,000 meters of core drilling. Now that's about $7 million, and I'd like to raise that in tranches, or take on a senior company as partner, because we're ready to do either, and we can show any company or any institution a terrific lineup of prospects. But let's start the Serita Este and see what happens, because it will raise the value of the company. We have enough options outstanding up to 15 cents that we will raise about $3.5 million if we can get the stock higher, and those are exercised. So that's our current short-term plan. We have an excellent group of people, all in Argentina, that run the business for us. Our lawyers, our accountants, our office people, and our field workers are Argentine citizens and residents. And they're all coordinated right now, and we're doing a fantastic job on the ground and in the office. So I'm really looking forward to this year coming up. It's going to be very, very exciting.
Bill, where are you traded and under what symbols?
We trade on the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture Board, and the symbol is Charlie David, CCD. Currently the stock's around 8 cents, and I'm hard pressed to understand what the downside is, because I think it's very nominal. And I think the way you have to look at these speculative stocks is that they're all uncertain, and the uncertainty can give you a really bad return, and you're going to lose a lot of money. But I don't think that's the case in anything we're working on. Everything is, in my view, underpriced, and the risk level is probably in your favor here to own the company.
And where can people get more information about Cascadero?
Well, we've got a lot of stuff on the website now, Jim. But if anyone wants to read, we've got a whole room full of reports and information that we've written. And if anybody wants to see anything further on a property, just send me an email at bill@cascadero.com, and we will send you whatever you want to read.
Bill, thanks for the update.
Okay, Jim, talk to you soon.
My guest has been Cascadero Chairman Bill McWilliam. We were speaking on January 8th. I'm Jim Goddard.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at howstreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of House Street Media Incorporated.